This episode of the Savage Snowflake podcast is brought to you by Boundless Technology. Boundless Technology strives to advance in the cannabis industry by creating innovative products with portability and stealth in mind. Aiming to deliver an affordable, efficient and straightforward experience for the consumer, Boundless offers an alternative to the traditional joint or water pipe. Enjoy the taste, smells and effects of cannabis at lower vaporization temperatures with Boundless Technology products. Use coupon code SAVAGE for 10% off all Boundless Technology products at bndlstech.com. Follow Boundless on all social media at bndlstech. And if you want to show your support for the podcast, head to patreon.com/Savage Snowflake to donate as little as $1 a month. All right, savages, let's get to it. Savage. What's going on, savages? Welcome to another episode of the Savage Snowflake podcast with me, Jeffrey Leach, and my wonderful guest today who's joining me. So this lady and I first met on the app, the video sharing and comedy sharing 6-second app called Vine. But we continued friendship outside of that. She's gone on to do amazing things, like a vast array of commercials that we'll discuss over the course of the podcast on major TV networks out here. She's done TV, she's done sketch, she does comedy online, she has a huge Snapchat following, huge Instagram following, and she's also just a very sweet and lovely woman. Please welcome to the podcast my lovely friend, Mackenzie Stith. How are you, Mackenzie Stith?
I'm great.
Are you feeling good today?
Yes.
I feel like this is a very weird format, isn't it, in some respects? Because we're sat very close, directly looking at each other, but it's also there's enough of a barrier to feel like this is an official podcast, news station.
I've been on a few podcasts. A lot of them are just home studios.
I feel like maybe I should get a bit of table that comes out here, so then we could have a table. You know what I mean? And then we could and then it's like a lie detector test. Did you murder the children, Mackenzie? Yeah. What can I do?
Wait, lie detector test. I feel like they just
they have that.
I feel like it just
reads your heartbeat.
Yeah. So if you're anxious, it's gonna say that you're lying. Like how? Like that.
Do you suffer from anxiety?
Oh. Yeah. Real bad.
And so you feel like you'd fail all lie detector tests anyway.
If I were to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and somehow I got accused of a murder and I had to go in for a lie detector test,
that'd be you fucking done.
But they can't actually use lie detectors against you in court because they're not 100% real. It's they read your heart rate and then it's
unless
they're
you're
lying.
on Maury, in which case they're 100% official, right? Or Dr. Phil.
Is that show still around?
I think so. Yeah, and I definitely know Dr. Phil's still around, right? That feeds most of H3's fucking content these days. I
didn't mind Dr. Phil for a while until that one girl got really famous off his show.
Catch Me Outside. How about that? Brigoli. I'm going to move the mic slightly close to you. What's her name? Something Brigoli.
The Cash Me
Outside. But
stop making stupid people famous.
But she's all right. So hang on a sec. Let me just. That's one of the only people that you could have said that about. That I'm going to go. Hold up a second.
No, you can't. There's no way you could defend.
Well, I mean, I know she's. First of all, here's two things. One, she's a child. She's 15 years old now.
I don't even think she's 15 yet. I think she's
15 years old now. There was a whole thing recently with Tekashi 6ix9ine and her were flirting or something.
I have no idea who he is until Chris D'Elia started talking about him
about how beautiful she is on his podcast.
And I actually thought he was talking about a girl because I was like, who is this person? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, I wish I never looked that up.
I mean, so Chris D'Elia and I have been talking about him coming on this podcast. So hopefully that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. And I was sending him photos of Tekashi 6ix9ine, but someone had photoshopped him onto a really smoking hot chick's body.
Oh yeah.
And just talking about how
she's
fucking
gorgeous.
hot. So that's literally our entire Twitter thread now and private message is just pictures of Tekashi or Tamagotchi 76 or whatever the fuck you call it.
I love it.
Yeah, look, it's honestly just fucking pictures of Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh my god.
She's so sexy and stuff.
But he does make a good girl.
He does make a beautiful girl, doesn't he? He just looks like a beautiful woman, but quite an ugly man.
Yeah.
You'd never fuck a SoundCloud rapper?
No.
Come on. What if it's little
anything with Lil in it? I'm out.
Little micro dick.
We were gonna talk about that.
Well, let's reference that. So wait, hang on a second. I want to backtrack because I've just come off another podcast with Hobie Benjamin. I talked about you. I was telling him all about your vines. So the stuff that you used to make was very high energy. which is maybe this is an externalization of the anxious nature of who you are.
Oh, for sure.
You're lots of dancing, crazy dancing, and your body's incredibly flexible. You're a dancer
physical
and a
comedy,
gymnast.
I feel like, is my...
There you go.
It's my thing.
But very physical.
Yeah.
In fact, there's another guy, Nathan something online, who has appeared in loads of music videos and stuff, and he is like an ugly male version of you.
Oh, cute.
And he's like very physical. He does this
flailing.
the flailing, no arms dance. Like he did that on something, and I'll try and dig him up afterwards so we can have a look. But you got sort of blew up on this platform on Vine. For the very physical performances of dancing, funny little skits as well.
Yeah.
Voices, you do a lot of voices. You have derpy.
Yeah.
There's like a derpy character that you almost
very Kyle Mooney.
Yeah, and again, that feels like it's part of who you are, but you like playing with that part of yourself. You like externalizing it, turning it into a character. So therefore, it's no longer like a weird thing inside of you. It's like a tangible friend or a tangible player that you can bounce off. And then also these crazy fucking, I guess they would be spectacle planking. So you would be face first on an escalator going down a busy mall, or you'd end up just climbing into a fountain and just face planting into the water.
Yeah, I know planking was big in like 2010, but it was always big for me, just forever in my life. So
you've been a planker since day one.
I don't know why I'm obsessed with water and like. I don't know.
There's nothing more shocking than a woman dressed up in a nice outfit with, her makeup and her hair looking on point.
Yeah.
Just undoing her beauty in a very immediate fashion like that. And that's shocking to an audience to go, this chick literally walks up and then just climbs into a fountain and just slaps her face into the water. And you said you hurt yourself.
Yeah, several times. And a lot of there was one I did with Rachel.
What was the worst injury?
You know Rachel Ettinger.
Yeah, I'm aware of her. Yeah.
We did one where I just face planted into a pool, but we did like several takes, and my nose kept hitting the bottom of the pool, and I fucked up my shit. And because a lot of these are just one takes, because I'll be in full clothes, and I'll just find a fountain in the middle of the grove, and I'll just go and do it, and then there'll be like things at the bottom of it that my face will hit. And,
yeah. But you got to do a planking like location scouting session where you go in and go, all right, there's fucking metal, jets underneath
like,
there.
Feel them underneath. Yeah, the one at the Grove, they had like those jets underneath in my face, and then the one in Hollywood at the Hollywood and Highland, that big mall. Those spouts in the middle.
Yes.
I laid down in one of those, and like my eye was right where one of the spouts was. It was just like
straight into your eyeball.
Yeah, and I was like, cool. Might be blind, but like
did it for the Vine.
Yeah. That was fun.
What's the weird disease you can get from like gross water?
AIDS.
That's called jism. That's not, or blood. Those are two different liquids. Water, there's like a thing you get, and it's like a Lyme's disease. Is it Lyme's disease?
No, that's from sandflies, I think.
It might be. You know what? But they hang around on top of water. I think they like stagnate water, and then if it gets in your body, you can get. I used to be a doctor when I watched all these medical shows, and I'd watch those like mystery diagnosis and stuff, and like the monsters inside me. I don't know how to spell Lyme's disease either.
It's Lym something.
A tick-borne illness caused by the bacterium Borrelia. You're right. It's like from a tick.
Yeah.
So what's the shit that you get from water? Waterborne disease.
No, I mean, if you go to like Malibu Creek State Park, sometimes they tell you not to get in the water over there. There's like cliff jumps because the water has like bacteria in it.
You could have got...
But I forgot.
Amoebiasis, which is a parasitic infection. You could have got shingillosis.
But then I could be on Monsters Inside of Me, that show about people with all these like rare diseases.
Bugs living inside of them?
Yeah.
I've never seen that. What's that on TLC? It's got to be on TLC.
I think it's on A&E actually.
Okay.
But it's about people who get like parasitic diseases, usually when they go like overseas.
Yeah.
To like Guatemala and Guatemala.
Hey, Guatemala, it's
a cool place. So it's just
Guatemala,
we just like accept this.
That's all right. I couldn't do it in the last podcast. I was bumbling over all my words, I think, because I smoked.
I do that all the time. I don't know. I think I am dyslexic, so when I'm texting people,
Hang
I have to...
So wait. I'm going to do a little check.
Okay.
So we've got anxiety.
Yeah.
Dyslexia.
Yeah.
Okay.
ADHD.
ADHD as well. Do you take medication for that? You have to take...
Yes. Not all the time, but I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how does that manifest itself in sort of manic episodes or?
No, I mean, just
I thought you're super like energy all the time.
It's like there's ADD and then there's ADHD, and ADHD is like the hyper. Like even right now, I didn't take medication today.
So you have ADHD.
Yeah, that's the one where it's like I have so much energy, and I'm sure anybody
had ADD, so he has to take things to get hyper focused.
ADD is like more like you're just like distracted all the time.
Yeah,
ADHD is more like you're just like you are distracted, but you're like I have. Oh, for a while in high school, I don't have it as much now. I also had temporary tics disorder, and that was associated with my ADHD because I have so much energy like going through my veins. If I'm forced to sit down for a long time and not be able to release my energy.
How people have Tourette's, sometimes they have physical tics as well. You had that.
So I had
But without the fun of being able to tell people they're a cunt to their face.
Yeah. No, it was just like my tics would be there was just so much energy through my veins, I'd have to release it somehow, so I'd go, eh.
At any point, have you ever considered the fact you might just be getting your XMen powers?
Yes.
I feel like all of these things are leading towards...
Yeah.
Come on, you got like a greater purpose out there you're constantly looking for. You're getting physical tics, your body's starting to change.
Yeah, I just made like little noises. My hands would go like this and my head would go like this. And one time I was in like a college
You're the Rain Man.
class,
You're the Rain Man. You're basically the Rain Man.
And I did sometimes, because I did it so often I didn't really notice it. I was in like a large lecture hall like during a test and I was like, ding. And everybody in the room's looking at me and I was like, oh, I did it.
Shit, I did
but
it
the
out
thing
loud.
is, people didn't know that I had tics because I already make weird noises all the time and I like have such an eccentric personality.
Like,
so people were just like, oh, she's just doing herself. But really it was just like I wasn't aware. I just like meh.
It's so interesting that people like you and I are able to turn what anyone else would consider maybe slightly fucking mental behavior into a career choice. I used to, before I did streaming, live streaming, and now on the podcast and also, stand up, but predominantly the streaming, I got to play with so many different character voices.
Yeah.
I would honestly walk around over a day and just do voices to myself all day long. It was infuriating to me. Just to me. I can't imagine what it's like for other people come into my world and just go, dude, just fucking... They kind of enjoyed it, actually. They found it like a performance.
No, you're like... You're a real comedian and you're really good at what you do. So I feel like that's just you like kind of
Have you seen me do stuff? You've never seen me do
stuff. Yeah, I came to one of your shows at the comedy store.
A comedy store?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot. That was a while ago. Yeah. That was a long time ago when I first
Before
got here.
What? Had you moved here yet? Or
Maybe I hadn't even moved here yet.
No, I think you were just visiting. This was a couple years ago.
Wait, it was you and Rachel.
Yeah.
And we went and had sushi afterwards.
Yeah.
That was awkward. That was our first meeting.
I didn't think it was awkward at all.
I found it super awkward. I found it really awkward. And I didn't think that you guys liked me very much. I remember at the end of it.
You know what? I will be honest, I'm not a big fan of stand-up comedy, but I laughed at yours.
I didn't mean my comedy. I meant me as a person.
No, I was just saying, like, in general,
No, that's all right. Now I'm questioning my comedy, too.
No. It's just something in my head that I was thinking about, that you're a stand-up comedian, but, like, I actually really enjoyed your show, but I didn't think it was awkward. But
What's
also,
wrong with you? Anxiety.
You could put me in any social setting, and, like, I feel like I can, even in an awkward setting, I can like talk to people and like become friends with them.
Well, this is what's interesting about people who... So I have crippling depression a lot of the time. You
Love
have
it.
anxiety and ADD. And yeah, I think if most people meet us, they enjoy the interaction. It's normally... No one ever leaves me going, you know what, mate? I fucking met Jeff. He's so depressing. Like, that was so...
Yeah, no, people like this, they wouldn't know that we are depressed.
And you come off very confident, even despite... In spite of the anxiety, maybe.
Oh, yeah. No one would know. I mean, I talk about it very openly on all social media platforms that I deeply, deeply struggle with. I have panic disorder associated with just generalized
Let me just
anxiety.
add that to the list. Hang on, I'm writing down a list.
Well, I mean, they're one in this, like, they stem from the same thing, anxiety.
If I had enough money through this podcast to employ an editor to put it together, we'd have an issue counter at the bottom of the video, and every time me or you talk about what's wrong with us, it would ding, ding, like it'd add it on.
We make so much money, and then we have enough money to get therapy, and
there you go. I'm broke as well. That's another one. Ding. That's like we're up to 6 so far.
I'm so poor.
Yeah, it's funny though, isn't it? But look, you're still like. Here's the thing though. I brought you on because outside of wanting to utilize this podcast, which is what I've done, to get to know interesting people that I genuinely find are engaging and creative and wonderful. But if I'm honest, I don't feel like I know a lot about. I've been using this podcast as a kind of platform to do that and to introduce, you know, my audience to people who I think are funny and interesting or just very talented, which you're all three of those things.
Thank you.
I think being in LA and being a success is not having to go and work at a Starbucks or, you know, go and work in a call booth, you know, or whatever the fuck you do out here to make money, or drive Lyft.
Yeah.
You know, you say you're broke, I say I'm broke, but neither of us are going to a 9-to-5 job.
No.
You know, so... And
that's incredible. Like, even though I'm very hard on myself and I'm like, oh, I should, like... I look at other people and compare myself to them. I'm like, oh, my other friends who moved here at the same exact time as
How
me,
are they getting on?
And they're, like, booking more than me. It's, like, really hard to not take that personally.
Of course, yeah.
But still, I'm
I'm happy for those people's success.
Oh, of course. 100%. But it's just really hard to not be like, why am I not doing as well as them? Or, like... Sure. It's
sure, but that's the insecurities of being a performer.
Yeah.
We're all fucked with that.
I feel like that, like, comedians in general or artists or actresses, like, we're the most hard on ourselves. We're, like, the most depressed people.
Let's add that to the
weird?
counter. Ding!
But it's true, though. Like,
crippling self-doubt. That goes on the counter. We're up to 9 now.
You know that's true, though, especially in
100%.
comedy and,
I fucking hate myself, Mackenzie. Yeah. I loathe myself, and I'm trying bit by bit to look at what I do and how I live my life and understand that that's good and that I'm a good person.
Yeah.
But I just feel very... Unless I'm at the top of my game in everything, unless I'm super successful, I think I'm a failure. I know where that comes from.
I'm the exact same way.
You have pushy parents? Do you have pushy parents?
No.
Oh.
No.
That's my excuse.
My parents were like,
excuse?
Whatever you want to do, we'll support you. And I'm like, thank you.
Okay. But you're out here working as a commercial actress and making good money doing that. You're also an artist. Mm-hmm. So this is the thing since... I mean, Vine, some people will be listening going, oh, all right, Vine, who gives a fuck? No one's given a fuck since a few years. I think there's a very small, select number of people from Vine who've managed to continue engaging an audience post it, you know, post that event or that experience. And you're one of the few that has done it and become better. So I think someone like Steph Barkley has done pretty well as well.
Amazing.
She's amazing, but
Clayton
a lot of
Ferris.
Yeah, Clayton, and isn't he? What's he on? Isn't he? Who's the two that are a couple as well? They're like. There's another two that are a couple as well, but then you got the Logan Pauls of the world who are immensely successful but utter cunts, right? Like just scumbags from start to finish.
But it's always the worst people that are the most popular, you know, like the shittiest content.
But here's my question about surrounding that. You have an audience now for your Snapchat videos, you know, your stories, which are often very personal, but also very funny, very, you know, every time you tune in, it's like a reality show. It's almost like the Mackenzie Stith reality show.
Yeah.
And then also, again, on Instagram, you have content up on there, but you also make money outside of your commercial acting as an artist. Mm-hmm. And that's something that flourished. I know that the audience who love your art are people who loved your Vines originally.
Yeah. Which is great.
And that's a lot of your customer base as well. They want to
be able to get clients just off my art alone. Like a lot of people who buy my art like want something because
I disagree. I think there's quite a lot of... I think the art that you're producing now... So I looked at your website and then your Etsy store. Yeah. And you said you've got an entire Instagram page dedicated to it as well. Which
I'll have to show you because it's like so different.
Well, what is it? At what?
Mackenzie Stith Art.
Okay, at Mackenzie Stith Art. So I'm only following your personal account. I didn't even know about the other account.
Yeah.
But I know that the artwork that I've seen is like high level. It's good and it's very identifiable as one person's style. There's influences of different types of pop culture, whether it be sort of anime and kind of cute. It's kind of cutesy, almost. It's almost like
ugly,
a sadistic,
monsters.
It's like a sadistic Hello Kitty vibe to it, which is I think very influenced by a lot of Japanese art and what they produce. But it's very very much like I can tell I'm looking at something that you've made. Would you have dived so far into that as a creative pursuit if you didn't already have an audience who were going, well, I saw that one video where you showed your picture and I fucking loved it. Have you got any more? Like, do you think you would have found that?
No. I don't think so because I don't think I'd be confident enough that I could make any sort of money off of it unless I had some sort of audience that followed me and was interested in getting artwork for me.
But this is what I'm saying. There's very few people that exist successfully like you did on a transient platform like Vine that was around for a few years, huge, and then fucking died a death, and then continue to create to a high level in other facets of their interests and retain an audience. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I used to be pretty good on Vine in the UK. I wasn't necessarily as big as you and, you know, some of the other US people that I had connections with or I was friendly with. However, I know a lot of those people that they still stuck around. They stuck around and went, oh, Vine's not existing. I'm going to follow him on this social media page, or I'm going to go and watch his live streaming, or I'm going to, you know, they've followed me, which I'm very fucking grateful for. That's the maybe 1,000 odd people who are downloading these podcasts every single week are those people. And I don't see that happening an awful lot.
No.
Do you think we're reaching a place now where people are more concerned with the short-term success of their artistic endeavors than looking at being an artist as a process for their whole life? Bit of a serious question. I smoked some weed earlier. We had a sour beer now, and I started to...
Oh my god, isn't it great?
Yeah, it's very tasty. Thanks for bringing that.
Yeah.
But do you know what I'm saying? Do you think that's... We've reached a place in the world right now where everything is immediate, transient, short form. But I think the people who actually are going to be auteurs or, you know, creators for the rest of their life are the ones that look at what they do on one platform isn't about that platform. It's about their journey of creativity.
I feel like people are just so obsessed right now with how many followers they can get and how many likes that they can get. They're not even thinking about long term.
Yeah,
They're like,
how many people watch your Snapchat story now?
Can I tell you what it used to be and what it is now?
Yeah. Tell me what it used to be before
At
Instagram
my
did
prime,
stories.
it was 10,000 views.
That's a lot per fucking story.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot of people.
And now it's around 2,000.
Really? Because Instagram
that's still
stories,
a lot. It's still a lot of people, but
that is.
From
and you've
10,
never monetized that.
I don't know how to. I'm
premium
like
Snapchat.
Even though I don't mind people doing ads,
You've got to take out. You have to.
But
you have to expose.
It's so cringy.
You got to pop a nipple. You got to pop a nipple
maybe,
in one video.
Maybe 2 ads that I literally got paid maybe $100 for. But while I was doing it, I was like, oh.
See, this is the problem as well. This is the problem is that content creators like look. I'm half joking, but I'm also half serious. The way to retain an audience is by, if you're a woman and you're attractive, is sexualizing yourself more. That's one way people do it, which is not going to be your way. I know that.
Yeah.
But I also do think that you can offer like premium Snapchat content that you go, I do a few little bits. I put clips of my stuff on Snapchat, but if you want to see the whole story, which is a 25-minute
I feel like I'm not.
Then you join the premium Snapchat.
I just feel like people who have Patreon and stuff. I know you do, but like sometimes I feel like that's kind of. I feel bad taking money from people. I feel like
I don't.
I feel like
not
I don't
for art. Not for art.
It.
Would you feel bad? And I know you don't because you have it on your page. Would you feel bad if someone pays you $200 to buy, an original piece of artwork that you did for them, or $400? I know some of the pieces are like a few $100, or prints are $20.
Well, I spend hours and hours and hours. I'll paint up to 8 hours a day to make one. Probably takes me 3 to 4 days. So that's how many hours? It's almost like 20 hours. Yeah. That I'm working, so obviously I don't.
But I look at it like this: I spend, the 2 hours a week actually recording the podcast, or let's say 3 hours because they're normally a little over, plus all of the back work that I do in terms of promotion, trying to push the podcast, trying to get new sponsors, reaching out to people, letting them know about new episodes, editing videos, uploading videos, editing the audio, uploading the audio, doing all the descriptions, all of that shit takes fucking hours every week.
That's true.
So for me, when people go. When I say to people, and you've led me perfectly into a little message, guys, patreon.com/Savage Snowflake. But seriously, from my point of view, that's me going, I'm asking you to, if you have the funds, if you have a job, if you're a kid and you're listening to podcasts, don't worry about it. If you're at college and you're broke as fuck, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If you just got made redundant, don't worry about it. If you've got a family to feed and you can't afford $5, don't worry about it. But if you enjoy the art that I put out, in this case it would be a podcast, or my sometimes 8-hour-long live streams where I'm entertaining all the time, playing video games and talking to my community. Yeah, I don't mind taking $1 a month, or $5 a month, or 10 or 20, whatever they want to donate. No. I think that's okay.
And you actually just kind of changed my mind about it now that you explained how much work goes into it.
Premium Snapchat. Let's bring it in. I reckon out of those 2,000, you could definitely rack up at least.
Or just sell pictures of my feet.
Let's don't do that. I've seen your feet. That no one wants to buy.
They're not even that cute, but people have asked me, can I buy pictures of your feet? And I'm like, that's really weird.
I remember that one party where you were wearing flip flops. And I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying the feet aren't gorgeous. I'm just saying that the hair on the toes is so abundant. It's like an Armenian girl's middle eyebrow just across all your toes.
I want everyone to know.
You have monobrow across all your toes. It goes down the sides of the toe and up the sides of the inside.
Have you seen that ad on Instagram? I feel like I see it everywhere. It's like this ad about like girls with hair, but it's also a razor ad, and they're shaving their feet.
Oh, and it's super. Well, there's one where it's super. That Venus did an advert recently where they made it almost. They were basically making it a fucking #MeToo advert.
Oh.
It was ladies. No one can tell you what to do with your body. If you want to feel glamorous and do your thing and just be what you want to be, you should do it. Use new Venus Blaze. I'm like, motherfucker, you're literally selling a product that is going how you are naturally. Is not right.
Exactly.
Shave that shit off. Yo, listen, it's Sandra.
Like, we love your hair, but buy this razor. What?
We love your choice to be hairy. We think you're a fucking scumbag if you do choose that. So here's Venus. #we're with you.
It's so weird.
It was so fucking mismatched, the message versus the product.
Yeah.
But that's how they do it, man. And I don't know how we got into that. Point being, your feet, don't sell feet pictures. My point is that I think it's almost like going, hey, here's the free taster of what I do as a content creator, and let me dedicate time to doing a good half hour of content every single day that you guys get to enjoy if you donate whatever it is to become a subscriber, $2 or $5. Exactly what you already do. No, that's what I'm saying. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because I feel like look, this is maybe why so many content creators from Vine struggle to exist post Vine as a creator, is because they don't know how to run the business side of it. I feel like you have a very clear and probably way deeper than I do understanding of the commercial acting business, because you've done your fucking page on your website is ridiculous. The amount of products you've worked with, huge brands like Samsung. You did a whole series of stuff for Samsung, didn't you, as a character, and all comedy skits.
Yeah.
So on that side, but when I hear that advertisers approached you when you were, had huge numbers on those platforms, and you got paid like $100 or a couple of $100 for a thing.
No, literally like $100.
Oh my god! Well, as a guy who knows that side of the industry, I would have gone, okay, yeah, sure, should do it, yeah. So it's going to be $5,000 for the spot.
Yeah.
Like literally
I
those
just hate
kind of
talking
numbers.
about money. It's so awkward for me, and even with my art, when people are like, I know I should be charging more for how many hours I put into it, but like I feel bad, and I'm just like, oh, I'll do it.
Well, you have
for
to
this
value
amount.
your work. You have to value your work to the way that it is. So you go and go, look, how much would a professional in any industry get paid for an hour's worth of work, or for a specialist, one-off piece? Like if you're a graphic designer and someone goes, design me a logo for my company, guarantee they're charging you like a few $100 to $1,000 just for a logo.
Yeah.
If you're doing an entire painting commission for someone to, capture their pet, and you're turning it into, your own stylistically a Mackenzie Stith piece about this pet, and it's going to be all fucking psychedelic and trippy and awesome. Yeah, that's worth a few $100. That's at least $500 to $800 for a.
And I tell people too that they can pay in segments. They don't have to pay me all. I'm like, if I'm like, you can pay in
You're
over
too
6
fucking
months.
Nice. I feel like our camera is like disappearing a little bit. Let me bring it back up.
Hey.
There you go. Now you can see us a little bit better.
I am too nice when it comes to that stuff, and I'll do it for pennies. But I just want to make people happy. That's at the end of the day. Like,
does it make you happy to make them happy?
Yes, it does.
And what does that? What does that feel inside of you? Like, what's the need to make others happy to feel good yourself?
I feel like I've just always been like that. Like I put
people pleaser.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I learned that from my dad. My dad was a lawyer not growing up, like when we were children up until, but people would come to him and be like, I don't have money, but can you represent me? And he'd be like, oh,
pro bono work, yeah.
or people would be like,
And
I
he
can't
was
pay
like,
you right now, but I'll pay you later.
Take off your top. Let's discuss
and
terms.
everybody knew that about him in this small town, and so he just got taken advantage of over and over and over again.
I'm glad you ignored my comment about your dad potentially just using his legal knowledge for sexual
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
That's all right. That's all right.
Anyways,
I realised
I learned that from
after
him.
I said it that you're going, no, my dad never accepted sex as payment for
No, but I feel
legal
like,
advice.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
No, it's all right. It
didn't.
was probably best you did.
Yeah. But my dad's the best, but I definitely got that for him to now. It's just like money's a very uncomfortable subject for me, and so I feel like I'm just...
My mum and dad screamed at each other for about 20 years about money and various other things. But it made me go to a point where I'm never going to argue with someone over money, and I'm always going to... I know that money doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It gives you freedom to do shit that you want to do. In fact, sorry, that's a dumb fucking comment to make. It does matter. In a modern day, and modern age and modern day,
It's everything
living,
while we're living here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to pay my rent. I need to eat.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do some things. So money gives you freedom. Mm-hmm. But it's not the thing that fulfills you. For you, it's getting someone... receiving that piece of artwork and sending you a video being like, oh my god, Mackenzie,
Exactly.
I fucking love this. This is
My
amazing.
favorite
Look, it's
thing.
going here in my room where I
Yeah.
can see it every morning when I wake up. That's what feeds you.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the money at all.
But then you also got to know your own monetary worth.
I know.
I had a company recently hit me up about some work and they were like offered a certain amount of money, which, and I'm going to be very honest with you, I've been honest with the viewers as well. Mm-hmm. It's been a really financially stressful time at the moment. I just got to land with a big tax bill as well. So I got to make some fucking money. Patreon.com/Savage Snowflake, guys. Anyway, I got to a point where I there's a show that these people want me to present.
Yeah.
A weekly thing, online content, blah 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 blah. And they offered me $500. And $500 for half a day's work, that's good money. People like that.
Yeah.
But at my rates, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm used to going, well, you pay me like $5,000 for the day.
Yeah.
So I'm going, well, you're at least 2,000 short of what my half day rate would be.
But you have to do that because
But the
it
other
makes
part of me
people...
is going, I need the fucking money
I
to pay rent so I can fuck about on a podcast. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I need that.
But with
Yeah.
the industry, that's actually where I am good at. Because when I first moved here, people were like, will you be in my video, or let's do test shots? Like I did a lot more modeling when I first got here.
Is this about the foot fetish stuff again?
No.
No.
It's just like
I
everybody
just want
wants...
you to squeeze some sponge cake between your toesies. That's all. That's 100% a fetish. You know
but
that.
I'm good at being like, no, I will not work for free if you want me to be in your
You gotta
music video.
You gotta buy the sponge cake yourself.
Yeah. But so that's good that you're like, you need to pay me X amount, because people will take you more seriously if you just do shit for free.
Well, free, nah. But like even for like...
But so many people in this town will, especially actors, because they're
they'll take it.
so desperate for work that they'll do anything for free, and I'm just like, stop it. Like,
Have you ever
you're
lived
the
in other
ones-
countries? You ever been to like spent a decent amount of time in other countries?
Oh, I've traveled. I mean, I've never lived overseas, but I've been to Europe.
America is the first country more than anywhere else where I found that if you offer something for free, people don't even hesitate to accept it. Mm-hmm. And also, if you expect equality in the payment of something, people will fight tooth and nail to avoid it. It's the first country like that. For instance, like I'll use a very, layman's terms social example. But if I go to a bar and with a group of friends, I'm a little drunk, and I go on, fuck it, I'll get shots. Let me get drinks. For everyone. I'll get the first round. Everyone's like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll have a large blah blah blah, and I have this and blah blah blah. They don't even fucking think about it. In England, you do that. You go, I'll get a drink for everyone. The guy with his girlfriend goes. He'll go, man, no, listen, we're only staying for one, dude, so I'm not even going to be able to buy you a drink back. Don't worry, we'll get our own. Yeah. I go, all right, fuck it, what about you guys? No, mate, you bought the last round. Let me get this one. It's my turn. All right, we'll split it. That's a British conversation about buying drinks.
Oh.
American, I get around. Yep.
Take.
And it's because this country doesn't give a fucking thing to its people. Nothing. No healthcare, no education. Like, you literally have to pay through the nose.
That's it.
For every... Can you tell that I've just been landing with a tax bill?
No, I mean, that's incredible, because you have lived in different countries, so I have never seen something like that, but you know how different it is. And I listened to your podcast where it was like the two British guys came out to see who was screaming, where everybody else stayed inside.
Oh, yeah. With the Armenian chick across the road.
Yeah, it's like people are so afraid that they might be put into trouble.
We should walk across the road and look at their garden and see if there's a little tiny cross, like a little buried doggy in the front garden. I mean,
that was such a crazy thing, and I'm sure the
dog
didn't
I'm very touched that you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, no, I feel like you and Crystal Lee are the only ones that I really listen to.
That's great company to be in. I think Chris is doing a great job. So what my overarching point that went off on a tangent is that you do have to retain some understanding of the worth of your art.
Yeah.
And I know for you, it's like, all I'm doing is talking to a camera on my phone and just uploading it. But what you're actually doing is 10,000 people at a time. And that's only individual views. I guarantee that your audience is in the hundreds of thousands and has been since Vine days.
Yeah.
They're watching stuff of you because you make them feel a certain way, that you nourish their soul in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know?
And I love that. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
It makes me, when I get messages, people are like, hey, I had a really shitty day today, but I watched your story and you made me laugh and you made me in a better mood. I'm like, thank you.
It feels so good. Thanks for validating. But then you had very supportive parents. So where does that need for validation come from, do you think?
I don't know.
Really? What, are you just naturally performative? Maybe you just naturally want to be seen by people? Or is it a case of, you said at school, you had all these tics and stuff. Was it a defense mechanism to be funny and entertain people and to go, well, they won't pick up on my other weird shit if I keep them laughing,
I don't really know, actually. I mean, because I was a dancer growing up, so I was always a performer.
Yeah.
And I love
and this is like
performing.
Ballet and classical and stuff like that,
like jazz and lyrical, and I grew up my whole
What's lyrical dancing?
Lyrical is kind of like modern. It's basically...
dancing to songs with lyrics.
No, I don't even know why it's called lyrical, but it's slower songs, basically. But it's not typical ballet.
But is it like contemporary where it's all flowing and...
But there's modern, which is just weird shit.
Waterful jazz
you go to a modern dance class and they'll be going like this, or and that will be the move. They'll just be just doing really weird shit. But lyricals where you're actually dancing and leaping and turning. And modern's just weird, fucking weird shit. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Do you think they're just making it up on the spot? Is it just people going, let's just keep adding?
I went to a modern dance show at University of Utah once, and it was 20 minutes long of a guy in his underwear just putting his hips back and forth, and it was art.
You know what you should do? You should come up with social media dancing, social dancing, lyrical, and it could just be you recreating all your vines, but silently, set to the sounds of Logan Paul's vines.
Oh no! You can't.
That's an art installation right there, Mackenzie.
You can't give those people more attention than they already have, though. That's the thing. It's
it depends
some of
what
the
you're doing
reason
with
why
it.
they're so popular is because they're so hated, and so people keep talking about them. It's where it's just ignore them.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking about them because
we're
that
just
applies
giving to everything, politics as well, right?
Yeah.
If you give more.
Yeah, or it's just much. It's hard though to see something that you hate so much and not want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they do that on purpose. They know it's going to be controversial, and they know people are going to talk about it, that fucking fat people shaming video.
Nicole Arbour.
Oh, I hate her so much.
I got approached to do a show with her recently, and no. Well, I'm not going to lie. There's a part of me that was the money is really good. So we'll see how it develops. But it would be a dating show. And what confused me about it is that she's synonymous with kind of just shitting on people
She's such
online.
A terrible human.
Have you met her?
No.
She could be just really insecure, Mackenzie. She could just be desperate for love, like we all kind of are.
I mean, I talk a lot of shit online, as do you. We go on rants.
Me? Don't fucking put me in your camp, mate. I've never written.
I'm not racist, or I'm not any of I feel like this girl.
I'm not racist.
Literally, no.
But have I ever fat shamed? I've definitely. I'm going to be honest, right? I don't fat shame. Will I be very directly honest? And I've got viewers and listeners who are very heavy set.
Yeah.
And they know. And I was playing video games with a guy last night on stream. And, we were talking blah, blah, blah. And someone made a comment goes, oh, man, come on, that's just fat guy strats or something like that. And he was like, no, out of all of us here, I'm definitely the one with fat guy strats. Because he's, quite a heavy set dude. And I was like, yeah, that's all right, but you know it, right? I don't mind people being fat in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to shame them for being fat. But also, as long as they're completely honest and acknowledging the fact that it's unhealthy to be that big.
Mm-hmm. But some people have medical conditions where they can't lose weight.
Some people have medical conditions where they retain weight more easily, or they can put on weight more quickly. You can always lose weight, and that's by
Cushing disease.
Ingesting less calories than you burn.
No, I know, and I understand that, but I'm just like,
you know what I'm saying, though.
No, I understand, but I just like, I'm not.
There can be complications.
I'm not like that to ever judge somebody by their weight or color, or I mean, I do judge people by sometimes their political party.
See, this is the thing. I apply it to everything. I'm not going to necessarily. I judge when I look at someone. As soon as I walk down the street and someone's walking in the opposite direction.
Everyone does, even if like it's just subconsciously. But
I fucking judge you in a split second when you walk around a corner and I see you and go, this is what I think you are. This is what I think you probably are, based on my personal life experiences and my experience in the world thus far.
Yeah.
Socially, etc. Blah 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 blah. This is what you are. But I always keep an open mind to this is not necessarily who you are.
Yeah.
It's what you are right now, but it's not who you are as a person. So when I see a fat person, I go, that motherfucker's obese. Like, he probably needs to stop eating so much and do a little bit more exercise. If he did those two things, he would absolutely lose some weight and not be fucking obese and potentially going to die from, from whatever, some horrendous physical disease. However, I also go, he might also have horrendous low self-esteem that's based to anxiety or depression that makes him eat as a comfort thing. So I see all the other facets of what it is. But I'm very honest with myself. I know I've got depression, but I know that there's things I can do every day to stave off that depression and not feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I know that I want to look a certain way aesthetically, and I know that if I don't do these things, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's understanding how to be
taking control.
We've lost the ability now. We've swung from one extreme to the other, I think, socially, and this is very true of social media, because I think one thing that you possess, which is one of the things that I admire most about you as a person, not even as a content creator, but your honesty, your
very honest,
ridiculous honesty.
It gets me in trouble sometimes.
No, and see, it shouldn't. It should only get you. It gets you in trouble from people who are terrified of showing any honesty.
Yeah.
I do Instagram posts. I did a little post the other day, and it was me striking a little pose, and I had fucking Sudocrem all over my face, covering up my acne, and it was like, just living my best life, but also remember, nothing on Instagram is true. Nothing on social media is real, really, for the most part. Yeah. And it's okay, though.
That's why I don't like Instagram.
I broke the fuck out because I drank too much booze for a week.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I have to deal with and understand.
Cheers,
yeah. But you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people listen to this podcast because they want that honesty. That's one of the things that you've possessed from day one.
That's one of the reasons why I have a big Snapchat following, is because of how honest and raw I am. I literally no filter whatsoever. I just say exactly what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. And some people take that as me being negative. And if you want to take that away as me being negative,
then fuck you, bitch.
No, I don't care. The thing is,
I just thought I'd carry
the
on.
other person is probably thinking the same thing. They just don't say it out loud. I just say everything out loud.
Yeah.
And some people are like, "Oh, you're so negative. You're always ranting." And I'm like, I'm just living my life.
You said sometimes that's got you in trouble. What's been the worst? We'll go best last, but let's do, what's the worst experience of you sharing what you really feel about the world and it backfiring, or there being some negative comeback from it?
I honestly can't even think. I feel like it's happened a handful of times. There was one rant that I went on about homeschooling that I didn't agree. Was
it a bit, or were you being
serious? I was just what triggered it is there was like a school shooting, and I was on Facebook, and I saw this girl's post that was like, I'm taking my kids out of school and I'm going to homeschool them because there's been so many school shootings, and that annoyed me, because I'm like, you can't live your life in fear. That's being like, I'm not going to go drive to the store today because I could get hit by a car.
Sure.
You cannot live your life in fear like that.
Fearful of everything around. Well, that's what has been created now, a dialogue of fear. That's what drives
And you
society,
can't just
which is
think that,
great.
like, because there's been a few school shootings in the past few years, that's going to happen to your kid, and then you're going to take them out. Like, someone could walk into your house and shoot you just as much as they could walk into a school and shoot you.
Sure.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think, I mean, yeah. I do also, I understand the irrational fear of a parent thinking, every week now it seems like there's a new fucking kid in a trench coat going into a school and just shooting people up. And that scares me, and maybe it would be safer.
Yeah.
I understand that irrational fear just having raised a little girl for a while. If that was happening at nurseries, there was a string of fucking shootings at nurseries, there's going to be a little bit of my brain, as even not as a biological father, just as almost an adoptive father, that would go, should we take her to the nursery anymore? Because I feel like maybe it's only a matter of time until she takes a bullet to the brain. I don't want that to happen. Yeah. That's an irrational parent fear.
But... So basically, I went on a rant from there that I felt like it was selfish for the children to take them out of school because
and you told
the
this
other
particular woman, or you did it in a
No,
in a
I was
video?
just talking about it on Snapchat.
Okay.
And I was saying, and then I started talking about how homeschooling, I feel like kids don't get socialized the way that they should because they're at home every day and they're not with people having experiences like prom or just like, how many memories do you have growing up?
Hey sis, what are you up to?
Or like
Friday?
just being around people all the time. And I kind of went on a little rant that I felt like homeschooling was kind of selfish.
How are you going to have
parents.
like one of those sexy teacher-pupil relationships?
Yes.
It's going to be your mum.
But then somebody messaged me that does homeschool their kids, and they kind of went off on me a little bit, and they were like, homeschooling's not what it used to be. Like, there's actually programs now where you do take your kids to like socialize with people, and they opened up my eyes to think, because me in my head is thinking that you're with your kid at home every single day, and they're not socializing at all, which I don't think is healthy for them and like growing up.
So you said, send me your address. I'm heading to the store right now to pick up a shotgun. Let's see how this works out.
No, but like it immediately
I'm fucking
backfired on
you.
me when I was like, you shouldn't homeschool your kids because X, Y, and Z, because they're not going to get socialized properly. But
You know what
then
this sounds like?
somebody
This
came
sounds
back
like a
and was
comedian.
This
sounds like a comedian getting on stage, which has certainly happened to me, where you do a bit. In fact, I was just in Vegas performing at the Comedy Cellar in Rio, a casino and hotel, and the comedian on before me, Julian McCullough, went up at the beginning of his set on the third night and did, a kind of offhand, very light-hearted anti-Trump joke. We know that Vegas is very red, and a lot of people who go there are very red state.
I had no idea until I experienced that, what I was telling you
Yeah,
about.
well, you messaged me on Instagram and were like, oh yeah, I saw a fucking borderline neo-Nazi march through the streets, Confederate flags
like,
and
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blue Lives Matter flags and Confederate flags, and they were just going down Las Vegas Boulevard, just like
fucking
beeping.
all their cousins, just
and I was just like,
up.
and
Oh,
it was all like raised trucks, and you're like,
yeah,
cool,
so you can hide the bodies underneath.
Yeah.
Well, we he did this joke about Trump, and a woman stood up in the audience, and she went, you can't say that like that, and he was like, well, I think actually yes I can, madam. I have amplification and PA system around me, and that's kind of what I'm paid to do, is to get up and say stuff.
Comedy.
And she was like, no man, you can't say that, that's our president. He was like, and as a fucking citizen of America, my God-given right is free speech, and I want to defend that free speech. And the whole audience was in support with him, including a lot of Trump voters. Because when I went up, I was like, I made a joke, effectively. She ended up being taken out. She was just shouting, going, "Fuck you! You can't talk about the president. Fuck it! You don't get free speech." Blah blah. And the bouncers threw her out. But she was an idiot. She was just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But I understand if you watch Fox News 24/7, you get ingrained with this kind of knowledge.
Exactly.
In the same way, if you watch only pro-liberal and left-wing political, propaganda, let's call it, then you're going to be very much that way. I think they're all fucking nutcases, both left and right, on the extremes. And this whole podcast, Savage Snowflake, is about the fact that I think there's a lot of us in the middle that are decently educated, balanced people. But this chick leaves, and when I went up, I did a sort of offhand joke, like, I'm just going to start with a quick 10 minutes of anti-Trump material, or no, I said I need a volunteer for the first joke of the night. Have we got any avid Trump supporters who don't like free speech in the audience? And everyone laughed, right?
Yeah.
And then I went, nah, that's cool if you support Trump. And there were a few people cheering, so there were still Trump supporters in the audience who were definitely on the side of the comedians that, yeah, he might be my president, but you're a comedian. It's your job to make fun of shit that people do.
Exactly. And it's like, don't even go to these shows if you're going to get so easily offended. And that's, I feel like, such an issue these days, is where
But I feel like both liberals and Republicans.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I kind of like wanted to start my own podcast, but I'm like, people are just so offended that anything I say, I feel like it's gonna get thrown back in my face, you know. But it didn't used to be like that, like 10 years ago. It's only in like the past 5 years where people are just so fucking sensitive,
terribly offended by everything, right?
Yeah, you can't say anything. You like, there's like a puppy
we
video
had all
online.
those sketches we wrote about, you know, about gay, black, transgender, conservatives.
And we can never.
And we're never going to be able to do those.
Never.
Nah.
Dang it!
We just have to send it to Keenan and what the fuck was it? What are they called? What are the two guys?
I think it's Keen. Wait, Keen.
Isn't it one of them? Keen and Peele. Key and Peele.
Pee-pee on my
Key and Peele. There you go.
balls.
This is going to be the clip that goes on the internet. Two white people try and work out two of the most successful black
and then
sketch comedians'
they're going to take our
names.
conversation and they're going to edit it to where we're only saying like.
And I know that Trump is the best.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm going to. Black people. Keen and what? Keen and Peele. That's it, cut together. Boom. Immediately we end up on Breitbart front page. You get a new 500,000 fans. They come across, watch your Snapchat stories. It's a load of Proud Boys. Gavin McInnes starts following you on Instagram.
Proud Boys.
Starts sending you fucking neo-Nazi memes and GIFs every day. You have to be like, lol, Gavin, you're such a cad.
Sometimes I just don't look at it because it bothers me.
The internet's a terrifying fucking place.
And I can't read comments on videos anymore because everyone's just like, that's so funny. The puppy in the videos must be being beaten or something. It's like, shut up.
Yeah, you're like, sometimes a puppy needs a good fucking backhand.
Yeah. If they're fucking don't stop barking, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, and it was the old
just
1-2. The old 1-2.
Just kill them.
Just fucking skin them. Make a pair of boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Free speech has hit a bit of a... It's difficult because to be an advocate of that kind of free speech means that we accept everything that everyone says.
Yeah.
And some people say some really nasty shit on the daily. But then also, to remove it means that balanced people aren't even able to make comments. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into politics.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about you.
No. Yeah.
Your artistic endeavors.
Okay.
Was this a childhood thing?
No, not at all. I honestly didn't think I could ever do art. I never tried it. I never took an art class in my life. But
see, that irritates me because my sister's an artist. She's like she was a sculpturist, and she teaches art now in New Zealand. And she was always good, but she did it from young childhood.
Yeah, no, I never.
I was very
ever did
average, and you came out and just started.
No, but the
whipping
thing
up
is,
a storm.
The stuff that you saw on my website is like the stuff that I painted like 10 years ago.
Oh no, I've seen newer stuff on the Etsy. I think that's definitely more modern. And then you said on the Instagram, there's more.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put it up while you tell me.
So I started painting like 10 years ago, and I only painted for like a year or two, and I did those little monster characters.
Yeah.
The ones that are on my website.
A decade, that's a reasonable amount of time to dedicate to an art
But I
form.
didn't paint after that. I painted for
you
like...
burnt them immediately after you painted
No,
them. You
I
just burnt them up.
I was like, ooh, I kind of want to... I went to an art show, and I saw these like little monster characters, which I loved, and I wanted to buy the art, but I didn't have money to, and my friend Megan that I was with, she's like, why don't you just make your own? And so I went home and I started painting these little monster characters, which are very simple. I don't think it takes a lot of talent to do. Like, it's just like a shape with like some like eyes and like some fangs, and it wasn't.
But it's no. But you're. I think you're diluting the strength of the stuff that you do. This seems to be a thing. All right. So where does this fucking?
Okay.
This is what I want to know. Where does this shit come from? Because you do it with your, why would anyone want to buy my Snapchat?
I don't know. I hate myself, but I know that I'm fucking hilarious and I know that I'm talented, but I doubt myself so much.
But your parents always supported you.
Yeah.
Who made you feel this way?
I don't know. I mean, my brother and sister were always smarter than me. I definitely was the one that didn't have as good as grades.
So are you the youngest child?
I am the youngest child.
Maybe
my brother and sister were like very, very smart. They got like straight A's. Were in like all AP classes.
Yeah, but what are they doing now? Have they ever snorted cocaine out of a hooker's butthole? No.
No! I've never done cocaine, actually. I've never done anything except for alcohol and weed. Oh, I did Molly a few times. That's it.
I've never done any drugs except drinking,
You're lying!
smoking weed, and fucking shooting ecstasy directly into my tits. That's all I've ever done. That's it. That's how I do it. Straight through the nipple. Through the nipple duct. I bang in an old...
I only do alcohol. Okay?
But you like to rave as well. That's another thing that your dancing is not limited to
I love
classical
music
and ballet.
festivals. Not as much as I used to. I feel like it's
Well, I always enjoy
the shark
the
now, but
annual updates that you do when you go to Holy Ship, which is an event you like to go to.
oh, that used to be my favorite music festival, but that one kind of like
Too many douchebags now.
everything's gone too commercial.
Yeah, that's the same. That was like
You know what I
Festival
mean?
in England. I used to DJ and produce. So I used to do
Really?
major festivals. Yeah, like Glastonbury and
Oh my God,
Reading
that's so
and
cool.
fucking all the dance festivals like Festival and things like that.
Yeah.
Exit Festival, snowbombing in Austria. So I used to play under a pseudonym Men in Masks. And it was like I wear like a Mexican wrestling mask and I do like a lot of dance music. So I miss raving. I used to fucking love going to a club.
But were you doing like popping?
Oh, I was popping multiple drugs into my bloodstream.
Okay.
At Glastonbury, what year was it? Probably about 8 years ago, so maybe 2010. It was the year that Kanye West played the Pyramid stage, the main stage. And when he was playing, I was DJing in the BBC Introducing stage, which was held about 2,500 people. When I went on, everyone was watching Kanye. So I had like about 50 people in the tent just drinking and listening to whatever music was playing on auto play at the back. I get up to start DJing and start playing. And by the end of it, it was filled, 2,500 people.
Wow.
And the tent, there was a 4,000 people overspill. The security guards told me there was at least 4K outside the tent trying to get in or dancing outside the tent.
That's so cool.
And I'd done so much coke and ketamine and Molly.
Oh, wow.
And just whippets, just any drug that I could get my hands
Yeah.
on and drink it, that I chewed the corner of my own teeth off. I cracked my own tooth off. Yeah. I chewed the corner of my own tooth off. I was pretty fucking high. But set was great. Still beat match like a legend. No train
Holy
wreck.
shit.
But here's my thing:
That's
is that
crazy.
I miss that raving, and you clearly have a deep love for dance music.
It's my favorite. I mean, I like a lot of different types of music, but I feel like one of the reasons why I like electronic music is because of the amount of energy I have, and
Yeah.
it fits with what
Yeah,
like I
it's
just.
a conduit for you to
And I
get
also
rid of
grew
that
up
energy,
dancing.
to expel that energy
I grew
as
up
well.
dancing, so I fucking love dancing. And even if it's just like dancing, not at a club, but I really, really loved music festivals for so long. Like that was me in my happy place. And a lot of people were like, if you have anxiety, how do you go to these festivals and like not? I'm like, that's like my home to me. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I hate when people are like they go to Burning Man. They're like, I'm back home.
That's my spiritual home. Yeah,
But like I feel
do you go to Burning Man as well?
I had never been. I eventually want to go, but it's
I want to go.
it's so much work to get there.
No,
and, like,
it's not. There's people, you
And
go
it's
with camps, you
expensive.
go with existing camps, and you only have to
Yeah.
bring a certain amount of time. You'll get into any camp you want because you're an attractive girl, which I'm sorry to be so fucking shallow and caustic,
No,
but
I
it's
appreciate
true.
it.
They'll
Thank
just
you.
be like,
Then I have friends that go. I could easily go, but I know it's expensive and I know it's hard to get to. Eventually, I'll go to that. But I'm like for
if
a
you
while.
decide to go to Burning Man, I want to go.
Okay.
And we'll both go. I'm going to do comedy there. I'm going to run like the world's smallest stage. I'm just going to find a box
I have
that's
to make
this
it
big.
there one day. I need to like save. It is expensive to go to that.
Yeah.
But I was just obsessed with going to festivals for a long time, and I was just like I was my happiest when I was at a festival, and I go to these things alone because I don't like. I've gone with groups of people before, and everyone's like, "Let's go to this stage at this time." No, but we all have to stick together, and I want
No,
to see
you have to
this.
get lost. You have to
and
just
I'm like,
walk and
I
then
don't
find
fucking
something.
care what you want to do. I literally go. I feel better when I'm by myself. I have more fun because I just run from stage to stage, and I'm dancing in between.
You're
and I
kind of
just
like a
have
Labrador.
So much
You're like a
fun.
Labrador. You just love running around, jumping
I do.
about.
And I get to release all this insane energy that I have.
Yeah,
and I
they're
just
notoriously
I just
upbeat
get into the
puppies.
music, and I also like when I first started going, social media wasn't really a thing yet. But then like I start the Snapchat thing and the Vine thing, so I could bring people with me, and it wasn't even like I was alone.
Yeah.
But now
If you can get the reception.
yeah. Oh. Then some festivals like I don't even want to go to if I don't have reception.
It's pretty bad, isn't it? I mean, I think there's a lot of, I don't know. I feel like, first of all, two things that I wanted to bring up. One, the fact that you're not into drugs, considering you're so into dance music, is quite
Yeah,
new to me.
And I did tell you I've done Molly I think 3 times.
Sure.
It never was at a music festival. I don't understand how people do those drugs at
But also,
music
it
festivals.
sounds
seems
like
so
you
different.
have that chemical imbalance where you're already kind of on drugs.
Yeah, I don't
bit.
I don't need it. In the few times I did Molly, I had to have someone next to me. Like I couldn't even go pee by myself. I was like I needed someone right there next to me. And I've only done it with like.
I insist on the same thing. Every time I urinate, I normally knock on the neighbour's door. Just go, I need someone to watch me right now.
But with festivals, I like to be alone. I like to run around and experience things and just like be free. And when I've done that, I didn't.
Do you feel controlled in other aspects of your life?
Boy, elaborate.
I don't know. You said you like to feel free. You like those.
No,
it seems like you're drawn.
I'm the most independent person you'll ever meet. I
don't know. I've met Beyonce. And I think she's the most independent woman out there.
Yeah, no, but I live alone. You live alone. My parents don't help me whatsoever. They haven't since I've been out on my own.
Which is good. That's how everyone should be. Once you've flown the nest, you should provide for yourself and be an adult.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm very independent. I do what I want whenever I want. And
I do what I want. You don't know me.
I don't need nobody's motherfucking approval.
This is what's happened. You've now gone full circle and become the girl from Dr. Phil.
No!
Your rap career is going to be amazing. You know she's got a rap career. Bad Baby.
I know, and that's what.
Do you want to know what's even worse?
It's because people just see dollar signs in her because she has a social media following, and they're like, "Oh, let's have somebody write a song for her," and then she just goes in the fucking booth.
Listen,
and then they auto-tune
I want
her
to
shit.
agree with you. I want to agree with you, but
she doesn't write her music though.
I mean,
even if the song is catchy,
you don't think she writes any of the lyrics?
Fuck no.
I mean, I feel like she does because these lyrics they're not necessarily. This tune is by her, and I fucking love this song, Bad Baby. Gucci flip-flops. Listen to it. I'm not going to play it because I don't want this to get demonetized on fucking YouTube. Okay. But listen to the song. I like the song. Gucci flip-flops. Flip it so down.
No, it's probably a catchy song, but she didn't write it.
I don't know. She didn't write the music. No. She didn't produce the music or write the beats.
She didn't write the lyrics either.
They're not. It's literally Gucci flip-flops. Do you want me to read you the lyrics? Let's see if we...
I'm gonna just get dumber by
I mean, all I'm saying is...
people that are the thing is, if you look up the song, she'll probably be on the writing credits. That just means that she was sitting in the room at the time, and she's like, okay, cool. That sounds good.
Was the fact she's a lyrical genius?
No,
and
she's not. She's not.
All right, hang on. Let's see what the listeners also think. You ready? Here you go. Gucci flip-flops. Fuck it, hit your bitch in my socks. This a big watch, diamond dripping off of the clock. Pull the 6 out, wintertime, dropping the top. Give it to they pussy ass, turn the shit up a notch. Gucci flip-flops, fuck it, make it kick rocks, bust it. This a big clock, check the wristwatch, check it. Gucci flip-flops, fuck it.
I still don't think she wrote it.
Hit your bitch.
Even though I think it's terrible, but it's better than what I could write. I'm a terrible writer.
Bad baby, got these bitches.
I can't even write a sentence without a typo in it because my dyslexia.
Bing! Wait, another one. Ding! Ding! Let's put that down in the bottom corner. What are we up to now? 10.
Dude, so many more than that.
But this is my point: is that I love this. I feel like Bad Baby, and I'm not even fucking with you now. I'm not trying to be amusing. I like that song. I find it catchy. The lyrics are dumb, like most trap, drill, modern rap and hip hop can be. Not most, sorry, chart rap and hip hop is dog shit, lyrically. But it's catchy. Look, Lil Pump and fucking Kanye West. I love it. I fucking love that song. The production is ridiculous. It's catchy as hell.
Oh, I don't like
the video was created to be a meme. Yeah, it's created to be a meme. And the lyrics are so dumb. You're such a fucking hoe.
I hate it.
I hate it so much. Awful, but actually, it's catchy and the production is good. And this is my point: is that there's moments.
Kanye's a good producer, but I don't like that.
Look, Kim, the Kardashians, I think, is a travesty because what they sell, they became famous through reality TV. Mm-hmm.
I worked for them, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How?
I was their personal dinner server. So when they had dinner parties, I would go there.
Really?
Yeah. And I also danced for Kanye. I don't know if you knew that as well. So
just privately, and he was like,
"No, I was his ballerina.
You really served that dinner up so nice."
No, I was his ballerina.
You want to put on a Yeezy pair of shoes and dance for me in my closet?
No, but I mean,
is this how the foot fetish started?
No, that's just a random thing.
Kanye was like, "Yo, you got some pretty toes."
Kanye didn't talk to anybody but himself when I worked for him. He had like his little crew.
Stand into a mirror and just talk to himself.
He's so. You know how everybody knows how narcissistic dinner server
girl had those
he is that narcissist
open
that everybody
toe sandals on.
No.
Oh shit, she got some hairy hobbit toes, motherfucker. That's a unibrow across them motherfuckers. I want to put them in my mouth. Yo, baby, you want to dance for me in my closet with a pair of Yeezys on? and you were like, "Fuck it, Rent needs to be made."
I gotta go.
Listen, don't hate me. It's Kanye said it. Potentially, allegedly,
He's a weirdo.
Allegedly. What was the weirdest part about that experience?
It was one of the best and worst experiences.
All right, give me the
my
story.
entire
Come on, I want to be in it. I'm living in it.
Okay, so Coachella 2011. I'll try to shorten the story because it is a long story. But I auditioned to be one of his.
Is this going to be like one of your Snapchat stories?
Yeah,
This is going to be like 37 minutes, guys.
No. I'll
in.
make it quick. I auditioned to be a dancer for his a ballerina for Coachella for his Coachella performance, and I booked the job. It was about 20 dancers, and he performed about 15 songs, and we danced in maybe 4 or 5 of them.
Nice.
But the booking was a week before Coachella, and he performed on Sunday night, so we had 3 17-hour rehearsals back to back, and it was the most high stress experience I've ever, like, everything was all of, like,
and
nobody knew.
Even without anxiety, this would have been a bad experience.
Yeah. It was so fucking stressful, and the choreographer kept changing the choreography over and over and over again, and we had 2 sound stages in Sony Studios. Kanye was practicing with his people and his production crew, and then me and the dancers and the choreographers were doing that. So
not even in the same space.
Yeah. So Kanye was coming in every few hours to, like, check up on us, and he'd be like, "Oh, I don't like that," so we'd have to change
on
the
a
whole
golf
thing.
cart. Did he ride in on a golf cart?
No. But, like,
a hoverboard.
Also,
Segway. He's still got a Segway.
No, but one of the dancers. This is actually crazy. One of the dancers dropped out because in this performance, it starts out and there's like a big white sheet over this, what looks like.
Can we see this online as well?
Yeah, you could see the performance.
Okay.
There was this huge art
Kanye,
piece behind
Coachella,
that was like kind of like
2011.
a god-like piece that you would find in like ancient Rome and something. It looks like something.
Right.
And he came in and he kind of explained to us that, like, he was the god, and like that art piece behind it was supposed to be like him as Jesus.
Yeah.
And this girl was very religious, and she walked out and she's like, Kanye is not God. Like, he's trying to make us believe that he is, and he wants us to worship, because in the first dance sequence,
She sounds like a dick.
in the first dance sequence, the sheet falls down and we turn up and we all just like praise it, and we start praising this thing.
But it's
which is
art,
supposed-
isn't it? A
Yeah,
full
yeah,
sidle,
yeah.
but she didn't like a full sidle being praised.
Yeah, but she didn't want to, like, he was trying to make it
think
like
Moses-
a metaphor, like he was.
He brought that down
God.
the tablets, didn't he? Thou shalt not praise full sidles.
Yeah.
So she's keeping it old school.
Yeah, so this girl, like, straight up left. But anyways, the choreographer kept changing.
But that means she's
it,
probably in
changing
support
it,
of a period of
changing
time
it.
when it was okay to fuck your brother or sister.
Yeah,
To continue
maybe.
the population. So she's.
I don't know, but she was not having it, so she got up and left. But there was a few instances where
She ghosted. She wholly ghosted. Hey!
the choreographer basically called me out in front of the entire production crew because we were rehearsing something and then he changed it, and I, like, got the dance move wrong.
Yeah.
And there was all these people there, including Kanye, and he turned off the music, and he's like, Mackenzie, if you mess up one more time, I'm throwing you off this production. And then he turned, and, like, there was 200 people watching this, and I was front and center, and then I was so nervous, he turned back on the music, and I messed up again immediately, and it was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened in my life. It was just the highest stress I've ever been in. And then we get on stage Sunday night after 3 days of 17-hour rehearsals,
Yeah,
where I
you're
got,
all
like,
fucking tired. You're all
2
like,
hours
run
of
down.
sleep, and, like, everything's going wrong, and, like, there's, like, this sheet that's, like, literally, like, 2,000 feet long that people in the back are all holding down, like, all these stage crew, and it's not supposed to go however it's going, and, like, it ended up working out in the end, but it was the most intense, like, I blacked out when I was on stage, because you look out and it looks like an ocean, you know, where you can't see the end of it. There was 90,000 people there, and I was just like, but it worked. I did it, and it was a crazy experience, and I got offered to go on tour with him after that, and I declined it because the dancers were all bullying me. I was like, they all were friends, and I came in, and I was like the only one there.
Bitches.
The choreographer kind of
Insecurities, Mackenzie. That's their insecurities.
No, it was really, like, I was, like, eating lunch by myself every day, and, like, they were like, why is she front and center? She, like, sucks. And it's true, I wasn't the best dancer there, but for whatever reason, like, I was positioned in that thing, and the girls were fucking pissed about it, and they're like, she's like literally the worst dancer. I don't know how she booked this job, and they're just all talking shit on me, and I was like crying.
You know that all of them are dead now.
Yeah,
every single one of them. I know. I know exactly who they were. There was a whorehouse down in downtown LA where you could go and you could shave girls' toes, and it was all those girls.
Oh, God.
And a guy went in there, just fucking lost his shit. It was like a school shooter. He had a mate. He really hates toes.
Oh my God.
He was more about the soles of the feet.
Serious?
He went in there, shot the place up. Every single one of them dead now. So karma. That's what happens when you insult Mackenzie Stith.
Oh wait, I did want to tell you the weirdest part. So we were like going back from sound.
I'm still trying to work out how you became a dinner server for them after this.
Oh yeah, so we're going from soundstage to soundstage, and we walk into Kanye's soundstage where he's practicing, and his own music is on in the background, just playing. And I look over at him.
It's his mantra, right? His own sound of his own voice. He's in the corner.
He's fist pumping to his own music, and no one's even around, and he's singing his own music, just like, and you're just like, he's heard that song 8,000 times. He wrote it, but he's like so self-obsessed that he was just like in the corner just fist pumping into his own music, being like, yeah. It was a very bizarre sight.
My question is, if you take yourself outside of that, go objective for a second. Do you think he was doing it because he knew you guys were all about to be walked into the soundstage, and it was for him, it was a performance?
No, I think he's honestly that self-obsessed that he was just like in his own. He kept to himself a lot. Like he barely even spoke. He had like a little crew that he'd hang out with.
At the Pornhub Awards, he curated the Pornhub Awards.
Really?
And he took over like a few days beforehand. And it was a bit of a shit show in terms of the organisation. There was a lot of production problems with it. But when he came out, there was a bit at the very beginning where all the girls, all these porn actresses who were his models for the Yeezy clothing that they were wearing, one girl was just wearing a pair of Yeezy boots, like high thigh boots with nothing else, just a vagina and breasts hanging out, A lot of girls barely covered, if at all. It was like
it's porn words, like.
Yeah, but also it wasn't clothing. I don't know what he was showcasing. It was just like he got some old like offcuts from a Chinese sweatshop and just safety pinned a bit of see-through material around a girl and went, there you go, that's art, that's fashion. But he came out at the beginning and they did like a weird impromptu fashion lineup, where they all just stood there and all these photographers took photos, and Kanye comes out. And he did this, and I talked about in one of the previous podcasts, the one about Pornhub Awards. He comes out and he just places his chin on his fist like this and holds his elbow. Very much in the pose of the Thinker, that very famous statue with the guy who's kneeling.
Yeah,
and he has his fist on his elbow on his knee, and he's got his chin on his fist. So it was that. And he stood there and he held it for, it must have been like 7 or 8 minutes. Whilst looking at the models, and he was going, but they were people constantly taking photos of him. So in every single photo that would have been taken of him that part of the evening, it would have been Kanye pensively looking like the creator, the auteur, the artist, the director, the fashion designer at his creations. It was very stylized, and I looked at it and I was going, that's what he does. He goes, okay, I'm about to do this thing. What image do I want to be taken away from this? What brand do I want to be taken away from this? What style do I want to be taken away from this? And for him, it was, I need to look like serious artistic fashion designer looking at his models. So he came out and literally went, boom, and held it.
Weird.
Super fucking weird. But also, it started to make me believe that every single one of these outlandish or ridiculous, or whether it be his current political, fucking tomfoolery, or going and talking to the president, or the things he says there, or his fashion line, or hosting the Pornhub Awards, or the video that's he knows is going to go viral because it looks ridiculous and they look like Minecraft video, characters. I think it's so predetermined, and even that, describing going in and he's fist pumping to his own music, I think he's almost been told by his assistant, all right, the girls who are going to be dancing, doing the ballet dance,
why would he care? Like a bunch of like peasant dancers that like he doesn't even
look what we're doing. We're sharing the story.
Yeah,
it keeps up the idea that Kanye is the biggest believer of his own music, and that actually trickles down and sells as a brand.
Yeah,
he believes so much in what he creates.
And it's great to have that much confidence, but like I feel like he takes it to the nth. He's so obsessed with himself to where it's like you can't be that confident. It's good to have confidence, it's attractive, but like he honestly thinks that he is God.
How did you end up serving crudité to God?
My sister, I don't even know how she got this job. My sister was the executive business associative for the Kardashians for about 5 years, so she basically ran their entire company.
Right.
And so she got me the job because I was a server for years, and they needed help with dinner. So it was actually the chef that hired me. So whenever they had actual dinner parties, I'd come and I'd serve them.
Okay.
So I served Drake. Drake actually took over my job one night. We had a dinner party for Drake. Very nice, and I was bartending the little party for him, and he's like, do you mind if I bartend? And I was like, okay. So then he's like making me drinks, and
maybe he wanted to smash. You could have a Drake baby right now.
Well, didn't you hear that story that like Drake and Kim hooked up or something?
Yeah.
Maybe it was that night because he was the only one over it. It was like their whole family, and then it was him. Like they had a dinner party just for him. They
hooked up prior to him, her and Kanye getting together, and then since then, recently, Drake's kind of alluded that he.
Yeah. I don't know, but he was really nice. So I worked for them for about 2 years.
He might have rage-aid her.
They were nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Was their home weird?
There's like 20 people at any given time working there. Chris is very OCD. Like
Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
She's a fucking nutcase, isn't she?
Everything has to be spotless. Like, I was like in the kitchen and there was like a little crumb on the ground. She's like, Mackenzie. I'm like,
this is what I'm saying though. That level of making everything look like a set. This is all a play. This is all a performance and everything. That home needs to be a set. The people need to be the extras and do their jobs right. Everything. Kanye needs to be perceived in a certain way. That's why someone like Kanye fits with that. I think he's perfect. They're perfect for each other. Those two.
They're so self-obsessed, but I feel like maybe it wouldn't be because like opposites attract, and they're too similar to where they're too.
No, I think
they're too obsessed with.
You can't be remotely interested in the feelings, the thoughts, and the emotional depth of another person when you are so focused on being perceived in a certain way and by your audience.
But I wonder what their home is like if they really have this like loving family.
Just butt sex, just like only anal. She wants to keep her vagina perfect, so he has to smash in the bum.
Yeah.
And he doesn't mind because he's secretly a homosexual anyway. So he's like, if I just
That's what people are saying.
He bunches up her hair and he like ties it up in a little bun, so she kind of looks like a cute boy with a top knot. Mm-hmm. And then he just jumps in there, and he sings his own lyrics.
Probably.
Nah.
I'm serious though. That I don't think that's too far fetched.
Wait till I get my money.
Like he's singing his own lyrics while they're. Or he's like watching it. The music videos are on in the background while they're fucking, and he's watching himself while he gets a hard on.
But she's tweeting about it. She's she's doing Instagram.
Here's the thing: he's not even homosexual. He wants to make
fuck himself.
Yes. So that's why they're making love, and he's watching his music videos on the screen. So that's the way his dick gets hard. We figured it out.
That's how they do it.
Yep.
I feel like we've rectified all of the pop culture problems in the world. Okay, so what's the sort of next for you? Is expanding, I guess, the artistic side of things, because that seems to have gone incredibly well.
Yeah.
People are loving the prints. You're getting a huge amount of commissions for people actually sending a lot of their own like photos of their pets.
Yeah.
And then you turn them into these psychedelic, trippy. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've seen one which was of someone's cat, and they sent you a picture, and you painted the cat almost floating through space with all these planets and aliens in the background, and then other cats. Famous cats from like the world.
Oh no, those are actually 3 people's cats.
Oh, they're all
they send me photos, and if they don't have a photo that they don't want me to recreate, I can just like draw from what the cat looks like. But I really like commissions because people give me an idea of what they want, and then I can start with something. It's really hard to start with a blank canvas to make artwork because I'm like, what am I going to make? So when people tell me what to make, then I can like take their ideas and then make them come to life, and I can still have some creativity in it, you know?
And if people want to get one of those commissions, then they just go to the Etsy store, right?
They just email. I have my email on they just email me directly.
So at Mackenzie Stith Art.
MackenzieStithArt@gmail.com.
There you go. No. I mean, I always plug all my guest stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to discover more of what you're about and see more of your stuff.
Yeah, so...
I think the first port of call I would say to everyone is to follow you on Snapchat and follow you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Just so they got those two things covered, because you do release a huge amount of content every day.
Every day.
And it really is. You know what? Like, God, hats off to you. I love sharing some stories. I do it every now and then, or I do a little live broadcast and I'll archive it or whatever. And I'll do sketches, and I know what people want from me. They go, do these characters every day.
Yeah.
Upload 2 or 3 funny character videos every day, like I used to kind of do on Vine.
Yeah.
Or please do more of the funny Instagram stories where you're kind of doing
It's
2
work,
characters.
though.
It's
work.
a huge amount of work, and it doesn't. I'm being very fucking honest and I'm sorry to say this, guys, and I hope you guys are listening and you don't take this personally, but it's monetarily, it's costs me. You know, at this point in my life,
because you're not working on something else. If you're working on
something
these characters,
I'm not working on a script that I could sell to fucking Comedy Central or NBC. So you have to do it when I have the time. Whereas you have made a certain amount of time, and it's become your living embodiment of how successful something like that can become if you dedicate some decent time and energy to it.
Yeah, well, it's really just the Mackenzie Stith reality show, because I just take people throughout my day, even if it's boring.
How do we get
fuck.
that made as a real show? How do we get a show? I think
well, what we haven't talked about yet, which I'll briefly touch upon.
Let's do it, man. I got no limitations on time, but you know,
because like half of my income right now is my art, and then the other half of what I'm doing is this job literally just fell in my lap. I'm working for Spencer Pratt now. Do you remember that reality show? Do you remember the show The Hills?
Yes, yeah, and it was him, Spencer, and Heidi is his wife.
Yeah, and I work for them now.
They were both on a TV show called Big Brother in the UK.
Yeah, they did I never saw that one. That one was just a few years ago, right?
It was maybe 5-6 years ago, and I went on as I used to host Big Brother's Big Mouth, the offshoot show.
Oh, really?
So they invited me in to talk about it and blah blah blah. I've been watching them, and I talked about Spidey. That was their collective nickname, and I talked about them and made some horrendous jokes about them. So
they're such good people. Yeah. I never really watched The Hills, which was their like how they started. Well, it was Heidi, and then like she started dating Spencer.
You want to know the only thing I took about Spencer? I took from Spencer Pratt on that show on Big Brother. Was he talked about, because I get acne around my hairline and in my beard if I play with my skin, and it's an anxiety, it's an OCD thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I scratch and I get very anxious and I take it out my face. And he talked about having bad acne at one point, but then him getting over it was just training his hands to not touch his face unless he's washed his hands perfectly clean. So he has to just learn to not touch.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. But
and I'm trying to teach myself.
That's true. People really do.
I struggle, especially when I get drunk or I smoke. Don't even know I'm doing it. It's subconscious.
I do that when I'm Snapchatting. I feel like that's just like or I'll put my hair in my face.
This podcast, if you're watching the YouTube, the video of this podcast on the previous, a few previous ago now, but with Pete Lee, I watched it back and I was scratching the back of my head.
I probably won't watch this back because I'll see all these weird tics that I'm doing, or maybe just like
that. Let's have another counter on the right hand side of the screen where we have this is the problem tick counter, which I think we got up to about 11 to 15.
It's hard to watch yourself back.
Yeah, I don't do that often. I just power
through it. Or like hear your own voice, but
I love hearing my own voice. I got a good voice, I think.
I always thought my voice was just whatever, but then
Mackenzie, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have.
You have a great voice, and you're a Brit. People told me that my voice is nasally, and I'm like, okay, I can't change my voice, so get the fuck over it.
I don't think your voice is annoying. There's a comedian called Michelle Wolf who I performed with at the Comedy Cellar. She did the what's it called? The press address at the White House press address. Is that what it's called? Or White House Press Association dinner?
Okay, yeah, I know.
That obviously Trump didn't turn up to this year, but she's got it. She's from Wisconsin. She's got a real gazy, and her voice is irritating.
Okay.
She's a very funny lady.
Yeah.
But her voice is, and she makes jokes about it. She has like a very irritating fucking voice.
Okay.
So yours is not bad.
Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, this job fell into my lap. I work for Spencer and Heidi now from their house. He has a business selling crystals, and so.
That's sorry, every single part of that entire sentence was the most LA thing I've ever heard in my life. I work for Spencer and Heidi. You might have seen them on The Hills reality show. He's selling crystals.
I know, but like this is.
I'm just. I have to point out how fucking hilarious that shit is.
I know, but it's. And here's the thing: is I'm not like a
It's a crystal store, but it's also a very specialist organic coffee bean company.
No, it's not.
And we do Reiki healing.
And anybody who
if you buy a pumpkin spice latte, we give you a Reiki crystal healing afterwards.
Anybody who's going to watch this who has followed me for a long time, I had a bit that I did on my Snapchat for years where I made fun of crystal healing. Like, I made fun of people who believe that, like, if I put this crystal up my butt, my AIDS will go away. Like,
that's how it works, though. I think they've confirmed scientifically.
And so the fact that I'm working with crystals now, people are like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Here's the thing, crystals are gorgeous. Like, so it wasn't me making fun of crystals.
They're not healing. These ones are not healing crystals.
No, they're supposed to be healing crystal, but they're whatever you want them to be. For me, I like the crystals because they're fucking gorgeous. Like, they're pretty pieces of the earth.
You know what I found out? Do you want to hear the most exciting thing I found out yesterday?
What?
If you take a lump of coal
and put it in peanut butter,
and then put it in the freezer.
Okay, so
it turns into a crystal.
I watched this whole video about it, and then all these people are doing experiments now to see if it actually works, and they're saying it's not working. But I want it to work.
Doesn't the coal have to be hot?
It has to be, like, pressurized to a certain extent, but people are, like, after that video came out, people are trying it now, and they're saying it doesn't work. I know, it's a bummer. I wanted it to work.
Yeah, me too. I was going to make a fucking coal crystal. Peanut butter coal crystal.
So that's what I'm doing. Oh, but basically they're bringing back the hills.
So that's the other half of the money.
Of the money.
So you might end up on the hills as a reality star.
I'm filming tomorrow.
They're going to call you.
I'm filming the hills
Crystal
tomorrow.
Mackenzie.
They're bringing back the hills for a reboot, and they're filming. And so now I'm going to be on the hills.
Wow.
We're filming tomorrow.
Are you going to change? Is that it? We barely
No,
got to
I'm just
hang
going
out
to be in
over
the
last few
background. I'm
years.
not going to be a main character. I literally will just be in the background.
Please tell me at some point you're going to come out and go. You're going to come out with just a lump of coal covered in peanut butter. And just be like, Spencer, it's almost ready.
This is where crystals come from.
That would be fucking magical.
Yeah. And then, like, it's all revealed. Like, this is how we've been making crystals this whole time. Yeah. Selling them for $120.
Well, I hope you become a regular on there because I think there's... I do think you're a very talented comic actress because I've seen you in a lot of your commercials. There are lots of... the majority of them are humorous roles. And you're very good at it. And I also think your content that you make on your social media apps is very engaging and very personal, and I like that. That makes me feel connected, even if we haven't hung out as much.
Yeah.
But I also, fingers crossed. Hey, I hope something happens with this. You know, maybe the Hills, you are involved in a bit bigger way, and then maybe they decide to take on as a character, because I think you would present a very different view of what attractive actresses in LA can be.
Yeah. It's a little bit scary though with the reality show, because if you're going to reality show,
you're at the mercy of the editor and the producer. Yeah.
A lot of times that can hurt your acting career. Like people who actually want to be actresses and then end up on reality shows. In this day and age, look,
we've already put it out. Thingy Bragoli fucking goes on Dr. Phil and goes, "Cash me out, how about that?" Now she's making hit tracks with some of the biggest artists in the world and making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So I feel like you could probably spin. Yeah.
But I mean, I definitely we'll see. I filmed with them twice so far, and they're filming for the next 10 weeks. So we'll see what we actually do film. But I feel
like you should just be planked in the background in really uncomfortable poses, and they never reference it in any scene. And you could just become like a cult character.
They're just like, "What are you doing?"
This is part of the crystal making process.
This is what I'm doing to bless the crystals because I'm literally, what I'm doing for him is I'm packaging the crystals and shipping them out, and then I'm also uploading to the website, and I write the descriptions of them.
You take a photo, a little description of what the crystal does.
Yeah, and I pick them up from the artist that we get it from, who carves and polishes all of them.
Is this one of the crystals that they sell?
One of them, yeah.
What's all the stuff inside? What kind of a crystal?
Smoky celestial quartz.
Smoky celestial. Oh, it's very smooth as well. Those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the crystals, the guy that we work with, he buys them from actual miners that go all around the world, and then he puts them in a polishing machine for 2 weeks, and then he drills and carves them.
This is so LA. I love the idea that it's just a guy with a fucking one of those hats with a lamp on the front of it.
Artist.
No. The artist opens his door up, and there's just a guy with a hat, a hard hat with a lamp on the front of it, covered black soot all over his face. I brought you your mineral. You needed your minerals. I've got your crystals for you. And he opens up a bag, and the artist just like, okay, super. Let me get 20 of those. Give me the ruby one. I'll take that. Give me the smoky Aphrodite ginseng one. Let me take that. How much is that? Oh, that'll be 50 shekels. And there you go. There's your money. And then he goes away and buffs them up.
Yeah.
Blesses them, does like a tantric fucking dance, sticks them in his butt. That's where he gets the energy
Venus,
from.
Girl.
Pulls them out, sticks them on a necklace. Boom, $7,000 online. SpencerPrattsCrystals.com.
PrattDaddyCrystals.com.
PrattDaddyCrystals. Love it. I love it. This is beautiful.
He has a huge social media following. He's a character.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
He's like the way
they're not dumb. They're not dumb. They're not dumb people.
The reason why Spencer asked me to work for him is because I made him an art piece.
Nice.
He's obsessed with hummingbirds and he like hand feeds them all the time. He has 50 feeders outside of his house.
Who are these people? Who the fuck are these people? They're just...
You have to follow him. He's so entertaining. He's so fucking funny. So I was a fan of his. And I made him a piece of art and then I sent it to his P.O. box. And he opened it on his Snap and he's like, Mackenzie, you angel, thank you so much for this. Right after he opened it, I ended up seeing him at a coffee shop a few days later, and I was like, hey, I was the girl who made that artwork for you. And he's like, no way. So he started following me on Snapchat, and we both film ourselves all day long, so we connected on that.
Yeah.
And we both like Snapchat is our lives.
I hope it ends well, though. I hope this relationship and friendship
strengthens. Hey, do you want to come work for me? Because he knew that I work for myself. Because I was doing Amazon before this. I was doing like grocery delivery for Amazon.
Sure.
And I had my own hours, so he was like, "Hey, we need extra help." He's like, "Do you want to come work for me?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah."
That's nice.
Something so it just like it fell in my lap.
I had a similar thing with RuPaul. We connected over Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, and we were hanging out. We went for some hikes, and I think he realized that I was 100% straight and never going to suck his dick. Or he just didn't like my personality, and after about 3 hangouts, that was it.
Sometimes I feel like a lot of times
still follows
British
me,
people can't come off gay.
Yeah. I mean, like when he first started talking on Twitter, I was in a gay bathhouse sucking a dick at the time. I sent him, I think, like a video just like, Rue,
and then they're like, no, it's not what it's not.
It's not what it looks like.
I'm not gay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm honest though. I feel like a lot of times when I meet British people, I kind of get like a gay vibe from them.
Assume they're homosexual.
Not all of them, but a lot of them I do. Remember that guy Corey Poppins from Vine?
Yeah.
I always thought he was...
No, he's straight, 100%, yeah.
Oh, he's definitely straight.
He's straight and
we made up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I think I flirted with you the first time we met. Didn't go well. It was like a butt crystal situation. It was like, she's like, listen, I like what you're saying. I like the offer. It's just not for me. It's not personally that's not the way I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
But then we had a beautiful friendship come out of it. Don't be sorry.
I
feel like I won. Imagine if we had
put crystals in each other's anuses and it was gorgeous.
Yeah, that was a bonding experience. That wasn't sexual.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little bit
sexual.
And
incidentally, if you cover the crystal in peanut butter, it's easier to get in and out.
But the thing is, you're supposed to pressurize the crystal, so you do that inside of your anus.
Yeah, you just squeeze your butt cheeks together.
Yeah.
Do your squats.
And then it gets real warm. You put the peanut butter in.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you check out Mackenzie Stith. It will be at Mackenzie Stith on pretty much everything, right? On Snapchat, on Instagram, on Twitter, and also if you go to YouTube as well, and you want to just find out a bit more of the stuff that we've referenced over the course of this podcast, I recommend just searching Mackenzie Stith Vines, and there's loads of compilations. So that will make you laugh. That will give you, a good. They're normally about 20-minute long
fun
videos.
Stuff, not like the depressing stuff that we.
Watch that. But then, if you also want to connect on a deeper level, make sure you follow her stories, reach out to her, and also beyond all of that, check out her Etsy store, or just go direct to at Mackenzie Stith Art on Instagram, and you can get commission done, or have a look at some of the prints and various bits of artwork she's got on sale there already, because I think she's very talented. Thanks very much for joining me.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun.
That was the best.
Savages, I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.